EEI, and essentially was asked this. Listen to the question and the response, and you'll get our drift.
Do you have interest in being a Patriot in 2021?
Man, I have interest in winning the Arizona Cardinals game. How about that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that I mean, I don't want to even harp or dwell or even think. I think my as the Bible says, my cup is runneth over, with just trying to focus on, the near future rather than the far future.
All right, and before we get Key's thoughts, Cam may not be mastering the game plan from Bill Belichick, but he's mastering Bill's work at the mic. Surely you remember this?
How difficult is it to react to the adversity of Monday night and get back on track so quickly? Because from a condition standpoint, this team, this organization hasn't had these sort of issues in the past.
Yeah, well, we're on to Cincinnati.
Bill, do you think, you mentioned Tom's age at the draft.
We're on to Cincinnati.
What do you think having a 37-year-old?
We're on to Cincinnati. It's nothing about the past, nothing about the future. Right now we're preparing for Cincinnati.
Okay, do you feel like the talent you have here is good?
We're getting ready for Cincinnati.
What is your response, Bill?
Well, I mean, I'm just asking, do you think you've done enough to help Tom Brady?
We're getting ready for Cincinnati. That's what we're doing.
Mind you, they went ahead and won the Super Bowl.
It's still funny 6 years later. Yeah, that was the end of the Pats. I believe that night it was a Monday night game. They got destroyed by the Chiefs, pre-Mahomes. And we said that was the end of New England. They ended up winning the Super Bowl. It's still funny 6 years later. It's still great.
No, it is. And when you go to a place like New England, or you go to places where coaches have been there for a long time, you fall in line and you kind of take on their personality. And that's what Cam is showing you. Like, I'm not even focused in on what's going to happen next September. I'm focused on what's going to happen this Sunday. And that's the Arizona Cardinals.
And Jay, I heard you clapping throughout that piece of audio. Did I catch that right?
No, you did, Zubin, just because, I remember that. And I want to see Cam succeed. I think both Kia and I are in the same car as it relates to that, right?
Well,
the question is, though, the question is, though, as they continue to move along, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And I unfortunately feel like this will be the last time we will see Cam as a starter. I think Cam, I'm not sure it's going to work out with the Patriots long term. They're going to get through this season. I already look at this team as a team that is trying to rebuild, and Bill Belichick has had to make moves. I think he'll be with the franchise for a long time, but I don't see Cam having a long-term future with the Patriots. I see him being maybe a backup moving forward in his career, or somebody that's in the rotation.
Key, are you ready to go to those lengths?
I'm not yet. I think their playoff hopes are over, but I think they're going to evaluate him based on the rest of the season to decide on whether or not they bring him back or extend an opportunity for him to come back, whether he becomes a starter or they draft a guy or they find another veteran guy that they might want to bring in. I don't think that they've soured on Cam to the point where they wouldn't bring Cam back. I think Bill in the organization is smart enough to know that they don't have a whole lot of talent, and a couple key pieces on their defense has opted out, that they get those guys back. I think they look at that opposed to, okay, it's been a bad year. He's no good. Let's get rid of him. Let's go find another guy. I think they're smart enough to know what they have.
They're sitting in the 11th spot, as you
Key,
said.
let me ask you this, Key. Would you bring him back, Key, if this were your team? Granted, you have a lot of pieces that were missing defensively, but seeing the way he's thrown the ball and understanding the way Bill Belichick likes to run their offensive sets and McDaniels and company, is he the quarterback that's going to answer those questions for you?
Am I going to get him the necessary help? Am I going to help him? Am I going to get him some playmakers in free agency because I have some money to spend? Am I going to draft some quality guys that could help our offense? I would have to look at that. I mean, because it's very easy to say, oh, he's had a bad year, get rid of him. He's had an up and down year. He's had an up and down year, Jay, because he had the COVID situation. He played well in a few games. He obviously have missed some targets, but he's also hit some targets. Jacoby Myers is really the only receiver that's been consistent. N'Keal Harry, a guy they drafted a year ago out of Arizona State in the first round. No, No, I'm ready to give up on him. You look at where's Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman's been hurt. He's been out of the lineup. So you start to kind of look at those things, and you say to yourself, I took on this as a staff and as an organization knowing that this was not the same quarterback as Tom Brady. So our philosophy offensively was going to change. You're not going to find somebody out there that's going to duplicate what Tom Brady did for 20 years. It's impossible to find. You're not going to find anybody that's going to run your offense the way he did for 20 years. So, you got to evaluate Cam and seeing what he's done for you the first half of the season and what he's capable of doing the second half of the season and into the offseason. That's the way you evaluate it, because quarterbacks ain't just walking around, man. I mean, think about it. They're not just walking around. It's like 7-footers in basketball. So if you're 7 feet tall, you probably playing basketball somewhere making some money, whether it's overseas or in the NBA. They're not just walking around.
One thing I would quickly...
No, I hear what you're saying, Key. It makes sense. I hear what you're saying, and it makes sense. I'm just saying when you look at the numbers for a guy that, and I understand that Cam's been through COVID, it's been an up and down year, and it's a roller coaster ride. It just feels like the numbers, they're not good though. I mean, it's just 4 TDs in 9 games, 7 interceptions. The completion rate is one of the lowest he's had in his career. It just